kitchen and bath transformations start with AMC Building Materials. AMC Building Materials is a large kitchen cabinet and countertop supplier serving both wholesale and retail customers. AMC offers factory direct pricing on all interior remodeling materials. Most standard items are available for quick payment and pickup right away. AMC Building Materials provides free design and free on-site measurements, along with expert installation by top AMC professionals. Get directions to the new AMC Building Materials showroom, amckitchenslc.org.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And it is beautiful at Osmond Designs right now. I know it sounds weird because it's still a little bit cold, but spring is in the air and we have all the florals and all the beautiful, bright, and happy colors at our stores. So if you're out and about today, stop by our Lehigh and Orem locations. We'd love to have you. And the entire store is an additional 20% off. So come check that out. We also have additional markdowns, which are at least 30 to even 70, 80% off. So it's first come, first serve. There's no holds and, take it home today, which is always really, really fun. Today, I've been looking forward to having Craig Whiting back on the show with us. He's a regular here on the KSL Real Estate Show. Welcome back, Craig.
It is so fun to be here. I love being on this show with you.
It's so good. And you are one of the top real estate agents in the entire state of Utah. You are also a city council person there in Eagle Mountain, correct?
Yes.
So you have your pulse on what is going on in the state of Utah. We have good news and some actually bad news. I attended a couple of economic summits this month, and I heard some economists and politicians and business leaders and influencers talk about Utah's strengths and struggles. So we're going to go over some of that this week. But before we do that, Craig, I wanted to just ask you what's going on in the market this week and this month and this year so far.
Yeah, well, and it's been a change since last year. So going into December, we had like 13,000, or back in October, we had 13,500 listings on UtahRealEstate.com. And that had been ballooning since early last year up to that level. It had been at that level until maybe mid-March or so, then started to come down some. But at 13,500, we were oversupplied, and sellers felt that. It was a buyer's market last year. It was soft for sellers in many areas, particularly in areas where there's a lot of new construction, very soft. But here's the trend we're seeing now. Since mid-October through the end of the year, inventory levels decreased to about 11,000. To begin the year, it started off actually 10,500 because a few hundred listings dropped off right at the end of the year. I was going to watch closely the inventory levels in January to see would those levels go up, would they go down, what would they do? Because if they started going up in January, it would be a bad omen for sellers. And if it started going down, it would be a really good sign for sellers. Well, what ended up happening is it just stayed flat. So we're still staying right around 10,500 to 10,800 listings. So what that means it is a better market for sellers now, for sure, than it was late last year, but it is still geographic. That's what we're finding. For instance, Eagle Mountain, Saratoga Springs, still way oversupplied. In Eagle Mountain right now, for instance, you can get, there are over 200 new construction properties available for sale at this moment, over 200 choices. So if you're a seller in Eagle Mountain, it's a difficult place to be. If you're a buyer in Eagle Mountain, you have so many options and opportunities. Now, if you're in some place, say Draper or Taylorsville or someplace that's built out more, the number of listings on the market competing with sellers is not high, and you should experience some good traction there as a seller. And for instance, I put a couple properties on the market just a week or so ago, and got solid offers, had lots of people coming through open houses in both those locations I mentioned. So right now, sort of depending where you're at, it could be good for you as a seller, or it could be challenging as a seller. It could be good as a buyer or challenging as a buyer.
Fascinating. Okay, some other good news. Let's focus on that first. There's always, of course, high household income and low poverty generally in Utah. And that was a theme of some of the economic summits that I went to this past month. There's upward mobility. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People are in their homes and then they want to upsize. They are buying bigger and bigger homes, which is always good. Utah's known for big families, and we need space.
We actually have the highest average square footage per home in the United States here in Utah.
Is that because we count basements?
Yeah, other places count basements too.
They do.
Yeah, but many places can't have basements, so we do have the advantage of getting that additional square footage.
Oh, you're talking about Florida.
Yeah, Florida and lots of parts of California, and yeah, exactly.
And I feel like generally people stay in Utah. I was born and raised in Utah. I don't know anything different, but I love being here. I probably will never move from Utah. I'm a born and raised Utah girl. There's well-trained and educated workforce.
Yes.
The business community here is thriving. It is all across the Wasatch Front. Of course, there's Silicon Slopes right there at Traverse Mountain. They are still hitting national news almost on a daily. So that's cool. And then fast growing population and youthfulness. I mean, Utah, there's probably more teenagers in Utah than any other state in the country.
Yeah.
So,
and that's honestly what those are the ingredients that you just mentioned for a good, solid, robust real estate market. You need two main things. You need population growth and you need economic growth. And Utah's got both of those.
for sure. Okay, so let's talk about the bad news here, Craig. Get your opinions on some of the things. Let's see if you agree or disagree with some of these experts. Housing affordability and homelessness, even driving downtown Salt Lake City, it seems like that homelessness population is growing, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's different from, say, 2 decades ago. I remember I had a friend that had visited me out of town from Pennsylvania, and we were walking downtown Salt Lake, and she was surprised at the lack of homelessness. And I think that trend is unfortunately going the wrong direction. And I think that is a concern right now, for sure.
You know, it's a systemic problem because when you talk about the past 20 years, how many times has the legislature announced a fix and thrown millions of dollars at the problem, and yet here we are still?
Yeah, agreed. And maybe there are more variables that need to be looked at pertaining to the homeless situation and have a more of a multifaceted approach to help that.
Well, now they're talking about that campus on the west side of Salt Lake City out by the airport.
Yeah.
That's the latest cure, well, not cure, but solution to the homeless problem with something like 1,200 beds. And it's just, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Housing affordability. You know, where are our kids going to live? That's a huge problem. And, you know, we could spend probably the next 10 shows talking about that.
Yeah. And I do think there's some solid solutions for this. And I think it could be sometimes a lightning rod that can be used for political purposes. For sure, housing affordability is an issue, but I'll also say this, that wage growth and job opportunities are better now in Utah than they have ever been. And I think part of it is trying to keep up with the types of jobs that will pay you enough to be able to stay here. I mean, it's a great place to live, and so because of that, the high demand to stay here, house prices are going up. I was asked the other day by another politician and who asked me, said, Craig, what will you do as a city council member to help make sure that your citizens in Eagle Mountain City have affordable housing? And there were some youth that were there listening, and I turned to the youth and I said something that I feel is critically important. And I said, youth, what's the most important thing is not what am I going to do for you, but what will you do for yourselves? What will you do to gain the education that you need to put yourself in the best position to have an income that can afford to live here instead of relying on the government? It goes back to the quote of ask not what your government will do for you, but what will you do for your country? You know, that quote from, what was it, JFK? And that principle, and I that's what I try to teach the kids. Now, yes, can the government do some things to help out with that? Yes, but I think that the mindset should first be, you know, you as an individual looking at yourself saying, what can I do to put myself in a better position to afford the real estate around me? And
I know we're on the radio right now, so you can't see Craig. However, he is in a suit coat, nice tie. You know, you are on your way up to Capitol after this.
Yeah. Yep, and we're working on some things pertaining to housing and some other things like that. And I mean, I'll tell you, stick on the show and listen, because we'll have some affordable housing solutions we'll talk about in a subsequent segment.
One macro issue. I look up at those mountains and there's no snow on them.
Yeah.
Water is going to be an issue going forward. Are we going to have enough to build out these communities?
The answer is no. Actually, no. We and I know this from seeing data in Eagle Mountain.
Wait, you were supposed to say yes, we're going to work on it.
Well, okay, it's things we can work on, but under the current structure, the answer is no. Something we need to start looking at is water reuse. And once you start getting into water reuse, it does begin to open up additional opportunities for population growth that we can then handle. But under the current circumstances, for instance, in Eagle Mountain City, we don't have enough water to build out according to what our population could otherwise be. Now, if you introduce reuse, then we do have some additional growth opportunities.
For sure. Okay, other bad news. Let's talk about traffic congestion. And this is something near and dear to my heart. I hate traffic. And I know you're out there in Eagle Mountain and Lehigh and you know, that whole west side coming in and out of that Lehigh Main Street's a total disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot we're gonna have to work on with that, and maybe we can address that in a subsequent segment. But that is a huge issue.
And I-15, I know we're all seeing it. There's always those orange barrels every single year. As soon as they finish a project, they just start a new one. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. Today we have Craig Whiting. He is the owner and broker of Prime Real Estate Experts. Thank you for being with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Derek Overstreet of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial advisory firm in Salt Lake City and St. George, Utah. We're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. 888-999-6370 or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Did you know dental pain is the top reason children miss school? Dental disease in children is almost entirely preventable. Good habits start early with brushing, regular dental visits, and fluoride protection. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Discover, Plan, Do, the Salt Lake Home Show presented by Mountain America Credit Union, January 9th through 11th at the Mountain America Expo Center. Meet Jasmine Roth of HGTV's Help, I Wrecked My House on Friday and Saturday. Plan your visit and save on tickets at saltlakehomeshow.com.
This message comes from WaterAid. Imagine having no clean water to drink, cook, or clean. That's the reality for 1 in 4 people worldwide. You can change that. Donate now at wateraid.org/audio.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the KSL Real Estate Show. We're glad you're listening. This is a fascinating conversation. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, and I am a furniture store and interior designer here in Utah. I have 26 years of experience. I actually became involved in interior design and in the design community because of my investing in real estate. Back in the day, I owned 33 rental properties. We bought our first one. We lived in the basement. We rented the upstairs and paid for almost our entire mortgage doing that. Today, I'm super excited because we have Craig Whiting back in the house here on KSL. Definitely one of the top real estate experts in the state of Utah. Craig, affordability in real estate is always a hot topic. And we're excited to get your input on that.
Yeah, so let's talk about a couple solutions. I've got a listing on the market right now with an assumable loan, and a lot of people don't understand what assumable loans are. But you just as a buyer take over the loan that the seller currently has. Some of these loans were originated at a time when interest rates were low. So this particular home I just put on the market in Harriman has a 2.875% interest rate that a buyer can take over. That means that buyer is going to have a substantially lower payment for that home than they otherwise would. And that home is not unique, being the only home with an assumable loan. Now, it takes a little bit of expert understanding how to find these, but I can find which homes have assumable loans and which do not, and I can help buyers and I can help guide buyers toward those kinds of homes. This home in Harriman also has a mother-in-law basement apartment. Now, it's now called an accessory dwelling unit, ADU. You're going to hear the term ADU. That's what that means. So this has an ADU. So there's a fully functioning kitchen, laundry in the basement. And my sellers have been renting out their basement for like $13.50 a month, something like that. But when you can buy a home that has an assumable loan at 2.875% and has an ADU where you could rent that basement out.
Jackpot.
It is a jackpot. And there are homes that are out there like that.
What percentage of homes have assumable mortgages that are on the market right now? Is it infinitesimal?
That's a great question, and I don't have. I could data mine that if I had my computer in front of me to see how many are advertising assumable loans.
Ballpark.
Oh, man, would it be maybe 10% of the homes, 5% to 5 to 10% of the homes? Let's taking out new construction because those aren't assumable loans. Those are brand new, but existing inventory that comes back on the market, call it 5 to 10% of those might have an assumable loan, and that's data that I could pull. But it's for sure an opportunity for a buyer.
Absolutely.
I think it's amazing. So there's residential investing, for your personal use. There's also being an investor and buying multifamily and commercial and all of that. This past week, I had my big 50th birthday, and one of my goals on my bucket list is to invest in more real estate. It is a great time. 2026, the outlook is very, very positive. Not only am I a radio host and I talk about it every day, but I do it. And it is so much fun.
Wait a minute. You just celebrated, first of all, happy birthday.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Second of all, you said, my present. I'm going to buy me an apartment building.
I think so. Literally, I'm going to build a brand new Osmond design store in the Lehigh Traverse Mountain areas. The plans are at the city, so that is my latest and greatest. I also own some additional land that'll be building some retail shopping centers. And Craig,
that's great.
You are an incredible broker over there at Prime Real Estate Experts.
Mm-hmm.
You do this for other people. You also do it for yourself.
Yeah.
But let's give a shout out to some of your other really cool listings that you have going on right now.
So if residential occupation is not what you're looking for, we got multi-units as well. So I've got 2 sixplexes on the market right now in Provo, and a duplex in downtown Salt Lake City area as well. And all 3 of those properties, great opportunities. Like the duplex has 10 bedrooms, so 5 bedrooms per side. It's a very large duplex, over 4,000 square feet. And it's zoned in a flexible type of zoning. And so it gives you a lot of creativity that you could do with that duplex. It's been self-managed by the current owner, but someone could come in with a little bit more expertise or some creativity and really increase the rents and the income that could come in from that. It's a large duplex. It's priced just over $1 million, but it has a really good cash flow right now as is. But it's a value add opportunity where can someone come in and enhance it even more. So that's available right now. Then the 2 sixplexes down in Provo, they're south of the campus of BYU, and one is also a large sixplex. Over 4,000 square feet. It's got great rents. And then there's one that's a little bit smaller, but still great rents as well. And that one's the smaller one's priced at $950,000 for a sixplex at BYU, near BYU. And the other one that's a little bit larger is $1,050,000, but both cash cows with opportunities to increase the rents. We call it value add because you could come in, it's great as is, but you can come in, make some adjustments to enhance the rents and gain immediate equity, immediate value, and make the cash flow even better.
I don't know if those are even going to be available after this show airs. Those are great opportunities in the BYU area. Those are hard to come by.
Yeah.
There is so much value in having a great real estate agent like Craig Whiting with Prime Real Estate Experts. You know your stuff. Time is money. And if you can help people find exactly what they're looking for in the time, needed that works in their schedule and closing and getting pre-qualified and finding the right team to help you. I mean, this is one of the biggest investments you'll ever make in your life, your personal home. And then once you get into that, going from one investment to the next, and it just snowballs.
Yeah, absolutely. If any of those listings interest you, just reach out to me. You can Google my name, Craig Whiting, Utah Real Estate. You're going to get my phone number, 801-879-4642, or primerealestateexperts.com. In the next segment, I'll mention a couple other listings also. One in Eagle Mountain that is a sensational opportunity, as well as one in Daybreak with a larger lot than normal and a 3-car garage, hard to find.
Those are so hard to find. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. I'm Heather Osmond, owner of the Osmond Designs furniture and interior design stores, also a Utah investor. I love real estate. I'm so passionate about it. Here with Jeff Caplan of KSL. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm Derek Overstreet of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial advisory firm in Salt Lake City and St. George, Utah. We're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. 888-999-6370 or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Did you know fluoride is not available in Utah water systems, and fluoride supplements work best from 6 months to 16 years old? A healthy smile isn't just about teeth, it's about health and confidence. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Discover, Plan, Do, the Salt Lake Home Show presented by Mountain America Credit Union, January 9th through 11th at the Mountain America Expo Center. Meet Jasmine Roth of HGTV's Help, I Wrecked My House on Friday and Saturday. Plan your visit and save on tickets at saltlakehomeshow.com.
This message comes from WaterAid. Imagine having no clean water to drink, cook, or clean. That's the reality for 1 in 4 people worldwide. You can change that. Donate now at wateraid.org/audio.
Get the $4,000 cash you need from Lend Nation. With clear terms and no hidden fees from a licensed lender, you'll know exactly what to expect with us. Simple, secure, supported. Apply now at lendnation.com/cash or your local Lend Nation store. That's lendnation.com/cash.
There are a wide variety of financial products available in the marketplace, so your choice of such products should match your financial needs. Short-term, small-dollar credit used over a long period of time can be expensive. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the KSL Real Estate Show. We're glad you're listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And I love real estate. At our Orem Osmond Design Store, we are currently doing some remodeling. I love new construction. I love remodeling. I love all of it. And it's a problem. My name's Heather Osmond, and I have a problem. Utah is a great place to invest in real estate. There is so much money to be made here. Today we have one of our regulars and favorites back on the show, Craig Whiting. He is the broker and owner of Prime Real Estate Experts. In the previous segment, we closed with talking about some really great listings that you have available.
Yeah.
Please give a shout out to a few more that you're excited about.
Yeah, so let's talk about Daybreak for a moment. I think one of the reasons people don't go to Daybreak is they generally can't get a lot size that they're happy with, and they can't get a garage size they're happy with. Well, I've got a solution for you if you like the Daybreak lifestyle and architecture and feel. I've got a property that will solve your issues. This has a 3-car garage, and it has, for what Daybreak is, a large lot, 0.17 acre. It is on the market right now, and it's priced just under $800,000. We just went on, so reach out to me. It is finished exceptionally well on the inside. Great floor plan. It was built only just a few years ago, so it's one of the newer homes out there. It has over 4,100 square feet, fully finished, 6 beds, 3.5 baths. So it's an exceptional opportunity. And the basement also has a functioning kitchen that can basically be turned into multi-level living like we were talking about in a previous segment. So it's a fabulous opportunity for those of you that want to go to Daybreak and actually have a yard and have a garage.
So a little shout out to Daybreak. It's such a cute community out there. If you've not been out there, you need to go check it out. That is a great price for that home. And they're actually starting to get some retail and some commercial there, which I think is huge.
Yeah. I love the vibe that they've got, the sort of the downtown area that they created, and it's got the Trax Transit that's out there, and it's they've created an exceptional lifestyle.
Great. What else do you have, Greg?
So for those of you looking in Eagle Mountain, so one of the complaints I get about Eagle Mountain, especially with the new construction, is lot sizes again are small. A lot of the builders are going with these smaller lots. Well, you can buy a nearly new home that I just put on the market with a 1/4 acre lot, and it is a 2.5-car garage. It's almost a 3-car garage. It's exceptional opportunity as well, and it's priced under $600,000. Just went on the market, so reach out to me on that. It's over 3,200 square feet. Currently 3 beds, 2.5 baths. Basement is not finished, so you can finish it according to your tastes, and you can build equity when you finish your own basement and really increase your value just from that alone. So that just went on the market as well. So reach out to me on that. We mentioned in a previous segment about the home that I put on the market in Harriman that has an assumable loan at 2.875%, and it has a mother-in-law apartment in the basement. That's an exceptional opportunity, $625,000 for that home. And it obviously will not last long, and my team's working on it right now. Who knows, by the time you call, it might be gone already, but please reach out. If that one doesn't work for you, we can help find you others that are also have assumable loan options or have mother-in-law apartments to help offset your mortgage payment.
That's just so juicy.
I'm
doing the math in my head, on well, maybe I'll pick that one up,
Right? Yeah, low mortgage payment and then rent out part of it to help you with that. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a way to start, like, especially if that's your first home or it's a second home or third, whichever home it is, it's a great way to manage your expense structure in life and really add value to your portfolio, your wealth. And I mean, we have, like, there's some agents in my brokerage. We call them house hackers. We've got agents in my brokerage that just specialize in doing house hacking. And so I've got a team I could set you up with. If it's like, Craig, I want to do house hacking. Not a problem. We focus on that. We've got we manage some Facebook groups that have like literally thousands of followers in this kind of space. And so we're constantly on the lookout for exceptional deals. And are happy to set you up with one as well.
Okay, so let's describe what house hacking is, correct?
Yeah, so
let's go.
Yeah, so you take a house and you figure out a way to earn money with that. And so I house hack myself. So my house hack looks a little different because I've got some acreage. I live in Eagle Mountain. I'm on some acreage. I built a barn, and my renters are horses. And so people will come and board their horses at my property. And so it's a way for me to quote unquote house hack because I earn money from the barn. Now, the way I manage it, fortunately, my kids are the ones mostly taking care of it, and they're also the ones mostly earning the money. But if I ever got into a tight financial spot, I could help take that money that I'm boarding horses with to help offset my mortgage payment.
Brilliant. Extra storage is also another thing that I've heard people do.
Yeah, and that's becoming more like sort of like an Airbnb type of
space. What do you mean, like rent out your garage?
Yeah, like
yes. Yeah.
Basement.
Detached garages. People are renting those out. RV pads, boats, all the things.
Yeah. And I'm not familiar with all the tools pertaining to that, but there are websites that help figure that aspect out as well, where you can take your home and say, well, I've got an RV pad I'm not using. I wonder how much money I can make on this. And
well, I'm wondering, come on, throw a number at me because that's fascinating.
Yeah, well,
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I'm not nuanced on what you could rent your RV pad for, but I'm sure you can rent it for more than it's just, I don't know, $50, $100, $150 a month. I don't know, $200.
Okay, because you really don't have to deal with tenants. There's never any noise. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's a reason why I like the horses as well. They're fun to have around, but they're very easy tenants to have, right?
For sure.
Yeah, they're not damaging the paint and ruining the carpet.
As long as they don't bolt.
Yeah.
You have a problem.
We got electric fences, but yeah, we got to make sure those are always working.
So we're always talking about housing affordability. Let's go back to that. I mean, we're talking about house hacking and ways that we can be creative and providing more income to something that you already own so that you can just give yourself a little breathing room. Yeah. And I feel like that is really where freedom is being who you want, when you want, and not having to be tied down and being house poor.
Yeah, so there are these creative ways to do this, and that's why we sort of talked about the government, solutions earlier, and how it doesn't always solve things like we hope they would. Well, there are some practical solutions that people can put into place right now that aren't government driven, such as doing these strategies where you can add a detached ADU, so accessory dwelling unit. That's becoming very popular. If you got a little bit of space in your backyard, there are companies out there that will just build that ADU in the back for you.
And they put a bridge and connect it to the house, which is oftentimes how you get around some of those city requirements, right?
Yeah, some cities would require that, some don't. Like Salt Lake City's a little bit more favorable to make it easier to put an ADU in. Renting portions of your home, having roommates, renting portions of your property, renting your shed, renting your garage. Things like that can really help ease on the affordability.
I think it is more important than ever to have a home that you love to be and in an area that you want to be in. I mean, it really does dictate a lot of your lifestyle and your happiness and all of those good things. So contacting someone like Craig and his team is more important than ever. If you are wanting to upsize or downsize, or if you're a real estate investor like I am, looking for opportunities to make money, it's great here in Utah. And it seems like there is just only favorable outlook for 2026.
Yeah, it is going to be favorable. Here's a shout out to Utah. Like, we've had really high interest rates for the last three years or so. And a lot of people predicted that there would be a crash, that there's a bubble and things were going to crash. Well, if you look at the appreciation for last year in Utah, the median house value actually increased last year, and against what others would think. And why did it increase? Because we've got a strong economy and we have people that are moving in, and we have a higher birth rate than other states.
Yeah, they say a little bit of the out-of-state move-in thing is kind of coming to a close, at least temporarily, in Utah, according to the latest census figures. But we still have families with 5 kids who are growing up all over the place.
Yeah, I got 6 kids. I'm adding, and those 6 kids are going out into the world and space here, and they want to stay here in Utah.
For sure. Okay, don't you think there's a lot of economic diversity here in Utah? And this isn't something we often talk about. I mean, there's all of those out-of-staters and even more money in Utah than probably ever before. So we have the rich that keep getting richer, and oftentimes with inflation and other things, people are being squeezed out and can't get into the market.
Well, and the diversity of the employment here really does help explain as well why house values did not fall. We're not overly reliant on, say, and we're not an oil town that relies on oil, or we're not reliant on certain industries that could have ebbs and flows. We don't have that. We do have a diversity of employment types that are here, and it's strong. It provides a really strong fabric for our real estate environment now and well into the future. Utah's a fabulous bet for long-term values in real estate.
Where do you think is the best place to invest? Across the Wasatch Front, is there one city, one location that you're seeing trending upward faster than maybe other areas?
So that's a really good question, Heather. I'm going to answer that in a couple different ways, if that's okay. So the first answer is the money in real estate is made on the purchase, not on the sale. And a lot of people don't understand that concept. So you really just need to buy right. If you buy right, you can buy in a variety of different locations and succeed really, really well. So really the first thing I look at is buying right, making sure your initial purchase price is going to be solid and sustainable into the future. You're not overpaying. So that's how I would answer that. The second thing I would say is the CBD is what we call the Central Business District. Those areas, so like downtown Salt Lake City, for instance, or closer to downtown Provo, or closer to the heart of what's happening in Silicon Slopes and Lehigh. When you're near the CBD, those areas are more price resilient when an economy turns south. And so being near the CBD is a great spot to be. And for a long-term bet in value, and also just protection of the asset. That being said, investing where the horizon is and where growth is, you can get land now and be patient for infrastructure to come in around you, and then you score big time. So that's where you need to start looking at places like Eagle Mountain and Saratoga Springs and southern Utah County, where a lot of the growth is happening, and even in northern Davis County and parts of Weber County. Buying in those areas, waiting a handful of years, infrastructure will come in. Great value add.
And oftentimes, if you can get in early into a community, by the time they're midway or even at the end, I mean, they are selling for substantially more. Right there in the Lehigh Traverse Mountain area, those lots and those homes are going up. It seems 50,000 every other month. I mean, it's just absolutely wild. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. Today we have Craig Whiting with Prime Real Estate Experts on the show. And of course, Jeff Caplan. I'm Heather Osmond, owner of Osmond Designs Furniture and Interior Design Stores. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm Derek Overstreet of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial advisory firm in Salt Lake City and St. George, Utah. We're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. 888-999-6370 or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Did you know fluoride is not available in Utah water systems, and fluoride supplements work best from 6 months to 16 years old? A healthy smile isn't just about teeth, it's about health and confidence. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Discover, Plan, Do, the Salt Lake Home Show presented by Mountain America Credit Union, January 9th through 11th at the Mountain America Expo Center. Meet Jasmine Roth of HGTV's Help, I Wrecked My House on Friday and Saturday. Plan your visit and save on tickets at saltlakehomeshow.com.
Get the $4,000 cash you need from Lend Nation. With clear terms and no hidden fees from a licensed lender, you'll know exactly what to expect with us. Simple, secure, supported. Apply now at lendnation.com/cash or your local Lend Nation store. That's lendnation.com/cash.
There are a wide variety of financial products available in the marketplace, so your choice of such products should match your financial needs. Short-term, small-dollar credit used over a long period of time can be expensive. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
This message comes from WaterAid. Imagine having no clean water to drink, cook, or clean. That's the reality for 1 in 4 people worldwide. You can change that. Donate now at wateraid.org/audio.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And it has been a busy month at Osmond Designs, not only with the general public coming in for holidays and for a little spring shopping. March Madness is coming up, so we're selling a lot of sectionals, a lot of recliners, a lot of, consoles for those big screen TVs. That's already started. But we're doing a lot of staging, actually, not only for the upcoming Parade of Homes, but also just for homeowners. Preparing your home to sell is more important than ever. Craig, give us your 2 cents on that.
Absolutely. When I look back at the sales that I had last year, the home that sold that surprised me the most, it wasn't surprising to me because I knew why it sold, but the one that would surprise people on paper, why it sold for cash and at a high price, that one had the best staging. I walked in and I'm like, are you an interior designer? That's what I asked the homeowner because it was staged so well. Now, you don't need to be an interior designer to
have it look like it is.
Yes, because you can bring in people like Heather Osmond. You've got a team and you've got the furniture and the other aspects that you could bring into a home to make it look amazing, whether a person's going to live there or sell the home. But it is that staging aspect of it that really takes you to the next level and helps sell a home for the best value possible.
And in the quickest amount of time, too. And oftentimes, even if you don't need furniture right now, you can buy it and then take it to your next home.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
It is so worth it. And the value add that you're going to get, I mean, there's different statistics as a well-staged home, what it's going to sell for, but it is well more than the price you're going to pay for this furniture, frankly. And like you said, Heather, you can just take it to the next home with you.
For sure. And there is a reason why builders, specifically national builders, spend so much money on those model homes, because it is an emotional thing. You walk into a home that's beautifully done and the scale is right and the colors are beautiful and it just flows correctly. It sells your home.
Yeah, I'll throw a little tidbit that supports this as well. What we have found with research from the National Association of Realtors, the garage door and the front door are 2 of the remodel projects you can do that you get more money back than you put into it. And that just goes back to the question, well, why is that? It's because it's all about the staging aspect of it. So that principle, that psychological principle carries back into the home. So it starts with you pull up, you see this garage door that's fancy, you see the front door that's fancy, you walk in, and if the inside of the home is staged like that as well, it all brings the higher price, the faster offers, the more reliable, stable buyers, and a much better selling experience.
For sure. And I think there's also this value add that makes people feel like, this person really cares about their home. Look at the details. The attention to details sometimes makes all the difference.
Yeah, it does. They can immediately feel themselves inside the home as opposed to walking in and not feeling that. It really is an emotional experience more than people realize. The home buying process is a very emotional experience. And as a seller, you need to, in a good way, manipulate that emotional experience from the beginning to the end of the experience, from when they pull up to your curb, what it looks like, to then going into the home, what it feels like, what it smells like, what they're sensing as they're walking around the home. That staging aspect is absolutely critical.
And even if you're not considering selling your home, having a home where you love to be is more important than ever. It really does affect every other aspect of your home. And it's about time that we love our homes. Whether it's a big home or a small home or, whatever the price point is, it really doesn't matter. Make it somewhere that you feel comfortable. Life is crazy. Life is busy. And, we love real estate. It's a great investment to spend money in an area that you spend more time than probably anywhere else.
Right.
Today we have Craig Whiting. He is the broker and owner of Prime Real Estate Experts. Last but not least, we do need to give a shout out to Central Bank and show them our appreciation. Please support them. They are the sponsor of the KSL Real Estate Show that we do every single week. They've been in business for over 130 years. And I personally love Central Bank so much because they invested in me and believed in my Osmond Designs business from the very, very beginning when I didn't even know what it was going to be. But I had a goal, I had dreams, and they helped me accomplish that. And I'm forever grateful for that. I've also received construction loans from Central Bank. I have a personal checking there. My kids have checking accounts there. And when you walk in, you feel like your family. So I love that about Central Bank. Okay, last but not least, Craig, how do people find you?
Yeah, just Google my name, Craig Whiting, Utah Real Estate. You'll find my contact info. You can go to craigwhiting.com. You can go to primerealestateexperts.com as well. But reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you. And yes, you would talk to me directly, and I would help analyze your situation, whether you're buying or selling. I'm happy to set up the perfect strategy for you.
Or, if you prefer, you can ask your favorite AI. So this guy, Craig Whiting, where might I find him?
There you go. Exactly. And yeah, you'll get my contact info.
It's a great time to buy a home. It's a great time to sell a home or be a real estate investor, much like myself. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next week.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.